Today, we are continuing our discussion about discernment, and I want to talk about why physiology is important. When I am working with students and clients on burnout or recovering from states of depletion, or really just working on overall anxiety recovery or mental health stability, whatever it is that we're working on together, it's really important to pay attention to our bodies. We've talked about how intellectual information alone is never enough to affect your overall evolution, which is what we're really going for, is being consciously evolving human beings. And when we pay attention to our bodies and use them as a compass, as a tool, as a vehicle for information coming in to our bodies helps us use discernment to figure out what's needed next. I'm thinking how I have become subtly attuned to my nervous system. And I know when anxiety is present because I get a little buzzing in my chest area, maybe my torso. My hands might become sweaty or cold. And I use this as a way to recognize that something is needed. Maybe I need to be more aware. Maybe I need to put on a sweater, or maybe I need to take some deep breaths. If you are a person who's dealing with something like chronic fatigue or chronic pain, maybe paying attention to that chronic situation will help you become aware of what's needed in the moment and using discernment to apply a tool or a medication or a practice. That's what I suggest, is applying some sort of a practice to bring the physiology back into harmony. It's really tricky for those of us who are not quite aware of how the body gives us tools. I really love Louise Hay's little book, Heal Your Body, where she talks about using physical symptoms of illness to recognize an emotional component to what that physical ailment might be pointing to when we are struggling with a physical challenge. When people are in my office here or in my classes, I see a lot of times that there's a lack of awareness about the simple breathing mechanism that we all have. If we're not breathing, we're not really alive. And if you are a breath holder, then you also know what happens when you're not breathing. Usually, some sort of tension or stress occurs if you're not breathing. So I encourage and I teach people how to use their breath as a tool for discerning what is needed now. Tension is another way that we can use our bodies to discern what is needed now. I was watching a Qigong video the other day about tension in the shoulders, and the teacher, Lee Holden, was talking about how we like to wear our shoulders as earrings. And so paying attention to the tension in your body, whether it's shoulder tension or back tension or knee tension, forehead tension, jaw tension, and use that as an awareness tool for maybe applying some sort of physical movement or some sort of relaxation technique. I don't myself, thank goodness, experience chronic tension or pain. I do have chronic tension in my shoulders, but I don't have chronic pain, though I did have an experience last year. It lasted probably 9 to 12 months where I had a little thing in my neck where C2 was out, what the chiropractor said, except he wouldn't put it back in. I'm not exactly sure why. It took me months and months to figure out or to work through what turned out to be some emotional tension that I was experiencing. I literally had a pain in my neck, which began to radiate down my shoulder. And at the height of that tension and pain, I felt so miserable. I thought, this is why people go to the doctor and get pain medication, is because it hurts so much. But what I realized after taking Tylenol for several days in a row is that Tylenol doesn't fix emotional pain. And so, if you are one of those people who experiences chronic pain, I'm sorry to hear that, or I'm sorry for you. However, I encourage you to use it as an indicator. Our bodies are wonderful indicators. They are like compasses that point to what it is that might need addressed or might need awareness or might need attention. And so let your physiology become a very important compass for you, and ask yourself inside, what is needed now? What does my body need? Maybe it's just rest. Maybe it's food. Maybe it's some sort of emotional release. Maybe it's physical release. Maybe there could be some sort of free movement or dance or massage that could help us feel relief in our bodies. Let your body be that tool, that indicator, that compass. This is why physiology is important when we're considering discernment as a strategy for overcoming states of depletion. I encourage you to become part of our Wellness with Energy Medicine and Energy Psychology group on Facebook. I encourage you to take the burnout checkup so that you can get some feedback or some data on your vitality, on your overall optimal function. We want you to be functioning optimally. These are interesting times, as the Chinese proverb says. And I wish grace and ease for you. I encourage you to enjoy every moment. Take a deep breath. See you next time.